Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and try our first orthographic sketch. So for this one, we're going to be using our Project Lead the Way sketch paper, and we're actually going to rotate it so it's in landscape. And when we have it that way, we're going to divide it into quadrants. So I'm kind of lining up where the hole is, and I'm going to find one of the grid lines and darken it. And again, I'm using pen, so it shows up on the video that much easier for you. You should be using pencil, keeps it nice and clean. And then if we look at title or the word date, we could use that as kind of our halfway point there. I'm going to go along that line, darken it up. Now what's cool about our orthographic sketch, remember a sheet of paper is only two-dimensional, so it gets hard to try to show 3 dimensions at once. So an orthographic doesn't do that. It shows us our 2 dimensions in 3 different views. So we always have here in this section is our front. And as we have the front, sorry for the lawnmower, we're going to have height and width. And our top one, our top view, we still have width, but we'll have depth going up and down. And then on our side view, we have height that gets repeated, and then depth going from left to right. So what we're going to try to do is, we had this 6x6 cube that had the additional 2 on top and the 2 cut out in the front. We're going to try to sketch that on an orthographic. So for this one, I'm going to start with my top view. And as I'm looking at the tops are all in these red here. I'm trying to go ahead and show that in this view. So I'm going to pick a spot, and I'm going to start right here. And as I start right here, I know from this cube, when I was looking, that it was a 6x6. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go over and count 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could always double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't want to have anything wrong when I got this on video. Who knew if I ever had this live? And seeing it was a 6x6 cube, that's what I'm going to start with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right now I start with my 6x6 cube. So right here is the width and the depth. I don't actually see this height at all, but I do know that there's this smaller square here and the smaller square here. So I need to have that represented in my top view. And those were 2x2 cubes. So I know from my original point, and I could go up 2 on my depth, and I could go over 2 on the width, give myself a dot, and I could connect them. Here and here. So that represents this top here, and I need to do the same thing in this section. So I'm going to go to that corner here, go over 2 on my depth, go down 2 on my depth. So excuse me, that was width. Now I'm going down on the depth. So here they are. So again, I know I could see these things are here, but I don't actually see the height coming up. This is similar if you ever been to the Sears Tower. Hopefully you don't call it the Willis Tower in Chicago. But if you've been in the Sears Tower and you look straight down, there's the different heights of parts of the building, and you really can't see them. You see like the shape of them, but you can't tell the difference between the height here. So we'll see the difference between these heights when we do our front view. So as I do my front view, I could go ahead and scooch down, and I want to start with this tall part. I know this is the tallest portion, And I even could do things having these guidelines, and I'm gonna, any of these lines that are going down, I could do little dashed lines. So I have a little dash line going down there. I could even do it I could do it from their edge here as well. So, as I have those lines, I know that because my width has to repeat, I got to make sure I don't shift anything over in either direction. So on one of those lines, I know I could start. I'm going to start a little further down, give myself a starting dot right there, and I know how my width is going to be 6, and I know it has to end here because my guidelines told me, because it has to match up to my top view. So with those 2 dots, I could go ahead and connect. Now I'm here, and I know I started with that 6x6 cube, so I could go down 6 from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could go to the right. Guidelines keep me there. Don't even have to count. I know it's 6 because I made those guidelines. So there I have my 6x6 cube. Again, I'm trying to make the green part here. So I know this side has to go up 2. So I'm going to try to do the part that goes up 2. So I know it's going to be here. And then my width is going to be 2. And then my height is 2. So that is my added 2 there. And similarly, I got to take away 2 from over here, so I'm going to start here, 1, 2, down 1, 2, and I could connect them. So, those are my fronts. And again, you see the extra height, and I see this part, just can't really see how far deep that goes, but I see that it's cut out there. So my last step is just doing my sides. In my side view, my height is going to repeat. So I got to make sure I start at the same bottom. So I'm going to give myself that little dashed line as my grid line. I'm going to go at my tallest spot as well. And I also could go at that other height of 6. So I have my lines. Just going to pick a spot right here. My width, I have to go ahead, my depth is going to be 6, so I got to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Main part of my cube is 6, which I knew was this line, so I could just match it up. So I have that. Now I have to figure out, alright, how is this going to be represented? So as I look here, I'm trying to do the side view. So the tall part is going to be on the right side. If we could go ahead and kind of see that. So it's going to be on the right side. So as I'm here, I know that my top limit is there. Go over 2. And then I have to do, alright, where's that other part? It's going to be in the upper left side. There's my blue. So I'm here, 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright, so there you have it. There's my orthographic sketch. Front view, side view, and top view. Thanks for viewing.